I know what you're thinking. Jay Wiley, this is a golf channel. Why do you have a tractor out here? Well, got about 15 acres out here, and I think I'm gonna build me my own golf hole. There's old Shoot coming to say hi, see what we're doing. But yeah, so we got about 15 acres out here in this pasture. So my plan is to build a little Tiger Woods style golf hole here. I'm gonna have me about 130 yard par 3 going back up this way, and then I'm gonna work back up that way and have either a long par 3 or a short par 4. I haven't decided yet. I got about 240 yards to work with there. So let's see what happens. Don't know how well this is gonna go. It may be a really bad golf hole, but give me a free place to practice. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I got me a pretty good outline of where I want my fairways to be. We're going to run one kind of back up that way towards the corner, and then it'll go down to the other corner basically to make my short par 4 or long par 3. The other one will kind of go off back over this way, and it's really only going to go maybe 100 yards since it's a short par 3. That's going to make the bailout for this long one. Bailout's going to be to the right, pretty easy. It's going to drift left as you go down. So I think we're on to a pretty good start here. All right, so I just finished mowing kind of the outline of what I want the fairway to look like. I'm gonna go back and walk it now. We'll check it out together. I'm gonna remark kind of what the yardages are, where I've got them at. So stay with me here. We're gonna start off with what's either gonna be the short par 4 or the really long par 3. I think it's gonna be a short par 4. I walked it off at like 240. But I think just looking at it, I think it's longer, so we'll check it out. So the tee box is going to be back here in this corner for the par 4 here. Kind of the way this pasture's set up, it's kind of like a big, almost a triangle. What's that called? A trapezoid, whatever. So we'll start back here. Like I said, I stepped it off about 240. I think it's longer. I'm not measuring right now, but we'll see. There are some power lines in play. You know, if you hit it right, they shouldn't come into an issue. If you hit a little stinger, they could cause some problems, but hey, that's what you deal with out here in the country. But coming up on the fairway area here, kind of started it out skinny, it gets wider. Kind of made it to where you have a little bit of a bailout to the right. Because I do plan on having a par 3 tee box back over there. So it does widen out right here, and it will get wider as we get closer. All right, now I'm over kind of the par 3 tee box. So I stepped this one off at 125. May be able to make it play longer, just kind of depending on how I set the green up. But back in here, it's pretty sandy. All this soil out here at our place is real sandy, pretty deep. So the tee boxes may be a little soft, but luckily got a big roll of turf. So came off the Tarleton football field. So I think if I take some of that turf and kind of build the tee box with that, that'll make up for it being so soft and not a very good structure for a tee box. But yeah, we'll check out this par 3 side. So we'll start back here. Like I said, this ground is really sandy, really soft, so not a very good hitting surface. But the par 3 will work back towards that kind of tall dead tree that you see back there. Again, power lines are still in play. Just don't hit a stinger, hit it over it like you're supposed to. Shoot's out here following me around. Quigley's out here somewhere. She ran off. That's the dog. We'll walk down through this, kind of cut this out just so I have a spot to walk through after you hit your shot. But when you get to the end right here, this becomes the widest part of the fairway. So this will be the bailout to the right I was talking about. Because right here where it's going into the green, it gets a little wider back over this way, but then it goes back up to that tee box that'll be the par 4. So it'll give you plenty of room. If you're really only going to be hitting the 5 wood or so, maybe a long iron, you won't really be missing this fairway very much. I will cut probably 2 cuts. I'll probably do a first cut and a second cut before you get into that long stuff. So really the fairway won't be as wide as this. I'll give you a pretty good idea. Alright, so this X here I've kind of marked off as the center of the green. Have that rough cut back there. Gives you a pretty good size area on the front and the back to kind of, if I miss it, which I probably will, just so I'm not losing a ton of balls in the rough stuff. Par 3 will go back up that way. And then the par 4 kind of cuts back around on the other side of that electric pole there. All right, so I'm out here kind of in the middle of the green where it's gonna be. If you look back up towards the par 3, it's about 27 yards deep and about 20 yards wide. Like I said earlier, you know, it's real sandy out here, so not real good for a tee box, but okay for a green. Problem is there's no way to get water down here, so not going to be able to make a good green, but it'll be good enough for what I'm trying to do. This is really more for me to work on and shots into the green, hitting fairways, that kind of stuff, controlling shots. You know, and it's a way for me to practice without having to pay for balls, because for some reason at the course here, even if you're a member, you still got to pay for balls at the range. So there's not much of a practice area. So this will give me a place to do that. And hopefully we can maybe get some videos messing around out here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so this is part 1. Y'all be sure to go and like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep this going until this thing's finished and we can see how good of a hole I make. I don't know how it's going to go, but done some landscaping, done some irrigation. So hopefully I know enough to at least put something together here and make a hole worth playing and practicing on, and maybe y'all enjoy the process of me making this hole. Got everything shredded, kind of in the shape that I want. Next step is going to be to come in, bring that tiller in, till up the green area, level it out, at least make it to where it's kind of flat. Can't really do anything if shoot runs through it and puts a bunch of hoof prints in it, but you know, it happens. That's what happens when you build a golf hole in a horse pasture. So y'all be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the channel, check out our other videos. We got a cool one up there now with we got 14-time NFR bullfighter, Rodeo Houston bullfighter Dusty Tuckness, and then 4-time NFR bullfighter Nate Justice, also at Rodeo Houston. And new at Rodeo Houston this year was Bo Sheets. He's up and coming. So that video's good. Go check that out. We snuck out to Wildcat Golf Club in Houston and played here. So subscribe, like the videos, keep coming back. Hope the channel's only going to get better. So I know the golf's off to a rough start. I told y'all that from the beginning, but y'all stick around and see what we got coming.